Hello and welcome to EdQuest. This is part 5 of our CP Grade A daily quiz where we are doing previous year questions. So let us see what questions are today. The very first question is regarding preference share. So question reads as, which of the following statement is incorrect regarding preference share? So statement 1 is they are paid dividend before common stock dividends are issued. Then next statement is, in case of bankruptcy, they are paid before common shareholders. Statement 3 is, they are creditors to the company. And then A and B and C are remaining options. So out of this, the incorrect statement is statement C, that is, they are creditors to the company. So let us first understand what is the difference between creditor and preference share. So preference shareholder will be given a dividend, right? And creditor is someone who lends you, and against that borrowing you would pay him interest, right? Also your creditor can be someone who supplied you material. uh, Maybe someone has financed you. So all these will be your creditors, but it will be shareholder who will buy your preference share. So that is why a preference shareholder is not a creditor here, right? So another important point we have to see is, in case of bankruptcy they are paid before common shareholders. So in case a company goes bust or bankrupt, how payments are made? So very first who will receive payment would be creditor, then preference shareholder, and then if anything remains at all, a common equity holder would be given whatever it is left. So I hope you are clear about this particular question. Now let us see what preference shares uh, are and how they are different from common equity. We'll study this in bit detail. Okay, so let us assume that this is a common share. In case of common share, what we issue, it is dividend. So let us say there is company XYZ. On this year, let us say first year, company made some 100 rupees profit, so it may decide to issue certain dividend. So this issuing of dividend is altogether a choice of the company, so it is not at all obliged to issue any dividend. So company may even say that, say, even if you are a shareholder, we are not going to give you any dividend and you will have no right whatsoever to ask for the dividend, right? It may also happen that the very next year company may not make any profit, this is zero, or even make some losses. Even in that case you might not get the dividend. So this is about common share. But what happens in preference share? So let us say this is 0, this is first year, second year. So this is preference share. In case of preference share, company is obliged to issue dividend. Also this dividend is the rate of dividend is fixed. So if you check any take any share, uh, any company who has issued a preference share, while issuing it would have declared whatever its dividend rate would be. So it would be like in the range of some 8 to 10% or whatever, depending upon the company, not necessarily 8 to 10%, but that is what a general trend remains. Okay, so we have understood that there is a rate of dividend. So there is no fixed dividend, or there wouldn't be any amount uh, at which amount of dividend, but there will be rate of dividend. So Let us assume that XYZ is a company. It has issued preference share and rate of dividend is 8%. So if on year 1 it makes 100 rupees profit, so it will have to issue 8% as a preference share ka dividend, right? So that is compulsory, and after issuing 8%, whatever amount is left, it would go for dividend for those who hold common equity. So first you pay dividend to preference shareholders at a pre-decided rate, and then whatever amount is left, out of that you are supposed to pay dividend to common equity holder. So this is about the preference share. So that is how preference share differs. Now then there are types of preference shares. So one classification could be of cumulative and non-cumulative, and another classification can be convertible or non-convertible. So first we will see what is convertible and non-convertible, then we will move to cumulative versus and non-cumulative. So if you are a holder of a preference share, so what we have learned is that you have right to receive certain uh, dividend, right? Dividend at a certain rate. So this is the case of paying of dividend in case of preference share, but there is also one another condition associated with preference share, that a preference shareholder does not have any voting right. So no matter what the situation emerges, uh, it will not be the preference share will go for vote. The voting right will be limited to the one who has common equity, right? Then there are also another parts regarding voting rights, but this is just a general difference between preference share and common equity. So we have seen two differences, that dividend is paid at a certain fixed rate, and a preference shareholder does not have any voting right. Okay, so it may happen that you don't want to like go into this particular scheme of things to receive dividend at certain rate and to have no voting right. In that case you will have an option of convertible or non-convertible preference share. So when these shares are issued, they are issued in such a scheme that you will be given an option after certain years. Let us say there is convertible preference share. So what scheme could be that, let us say for 5 years you will be paid interest at 8%, right? Sorry, not interest, it is dividend rate of dividend would be 8%, and you will receive this fixed dividend rate for the next 5 years. Okay, and there will be option of converting this preference share into common equity. So beyond 5 year you will have an option to see it as common equity. Okay, so after 5 year you are not likely to get any fixed percentage dividend, but here onwards you will have voting right. So I hope this particular part is clear between convertible and non-convertible. So this is about convertible preference share. So there might be any preference share which will not have option to convert in this manner. So preference shares will get converted into common equity if there is a scheme. Now let us see what are cumulative and non-cumulative. We know when we say preference share, so there is a rate of dividend. It is fixed, right? And we have to see what are cumulative and non-cumulative preference shares. Okay, so let us say this is XYZ Corp and it has preference shares at the dividend rate of say 8%. On first year it made 100 rupees profit and it decided to issue dividend. So for preference share, dividend would be issued at 8%. So one thing always remember, to issue or not to issue dividend is altogether a prerogative of the company. So board of the company would decide depending upon its requirement and situation. Maybe it will consider profit and what kind of arrangement it has to make for future. Depending upon that, it will uh, issue dividend. Okay, so now let us assume on second year company ends up making 50 rupees profit only, right? And in such a situation it thinks that it is not like it has to make provision for futures and it chooses not to go for issuing dividend. So for common equity holder and preference share holder, it will not issue any dividend. So this is for year 2, right? When it comes to year 3, it again makes profit of say 100 rupees, but when it comes to year 3 it will have to issue dividend at 8% to preference shareholders. But when it issues dividend to preference shareholders at 8%, it has to clear backlog for this particular year, right? So on this particular year, on second year, on the dividend which would be paid on second year, it will be it will first clear arrear of second year and then it will only pay dividend for third year, and after having paid this particular part then only it will pay dividend to common equity shareholders. Okay, so I hope this gives you a fair idea of what is cumulative. So whatever I discussed right now is cumulative preference share. In case of non-cumulative preference share, it may be that if there is no need as such to pay any dividend or arrear of dividend. So I hope this clears your understanding regarding this. So next question is about Securities Appellate Tribunal. So consider the following statements regarding Securities Appellate Tribunal and identify the incorrect one. So we already have seen Securities Appellate Tribunal. So these are constituted under Article 15K of SEBI Act, right? And so these are powers of civil court in matters of these securities, and it is not obliged to operate under the as per the procedures led by civil procedure code. So the only option which remains, which is incorrect, is SAT cannot review its own decision. So it is like even if you read it with a common sense, you can sense that this option is wrong, that there can be no body which cannot review its own decision. So that was about Securities Appellate Tribunal. And one important point, which was last statement, is an appeal against SAT would lie to Supreme Court. So this statement was even very logical. So let us move to next question. So next question is, which of the following is not an unpublished price sensitive information? So unpublished price sensitive information is covered as per the SEBI regulations on prevention of insider trading. So these were, I guess, they were in 2015, and after that they were also updated. Some part of it was updated recently, so I will update you on that also. So which of the following is not an unpublished price sensitive information? So there's a list of price sensitive informations given in I guess section 2 of this regulation. So as per that, these all are price sensitive information except recruitment. So obvious, again this question Answer to this question was very obvious if you read that recruitment of employees in large number. So by no means it can be a sensitive information if you compare it to other options. Okay, let's move to next question. So next question is again finance commission set up as per the dash of the constitution. So you had to guess the article. So article is 280. Mug up this article because this is one of the most important article and it is asked quite often as well. Then there is another important article which is article 356. So article 356 is regarding president's rule in state. It is also called a state emergency. And then there is article 256. So article 256 suggests that all states should act in accordance with the laws made by parliament. So that was about article 256. So there's further relation between article 256 and 356, so we are not going to go into that. Then article 380 has been repealed, and it is this article 300 is also not very important. So kindly remember these two articles, these are very important, 356 and 280. Now next question is, which of the following is not a money market security? So I think we already have done a lot of questions on money market securities. So answer to this was like question was very simple: certificate of deposit, commercial bills, papers, T-bills, all are all are money market securities except PSU shares. So again this was easy question. So with this I guess I have completed part 5 of SEBI grade A quiz on previously asked questions. I hope you like it, and if you like it, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.